Hi. I also serve on the board of directors for FIST, and so I just want to say thank you so much for coming out here and supporting what we're doing. It's awesome that you guys are here. And before I tell you this story, I do want to say some words about our beloved friend that we lost in November, and I'm going to try to get through. I'm going to try really hard to get through it, but I'm totally going to cry, just to let you know. That's the reason that we canceled our December show. And if you knew her, you would know that canceling something because of her felt wrong because she was the kind of person who showed up fully, loudly, stylishly, even when life was really messy. She was a badass. Fierce without being scary, soft without ever being small. The kind of human whose laugh showed up before she did, the kind of smile that told your nervous system, oh, I'm safe here. She loved really fancy tequila, not the shots tequila, the respectful tequila, the kind you sip slowly with an orange slice while talking about life like you're very important philosophers who also say fuck Trump a lot. I spent the afternoon and the evening before she died with her, and we flew a kite in the park with my kids. And we swooned over our favorite poet, and we sipped tequila, and because timing is a cruel comedian, I told her a really embarrassing story that happened to me. And I didn't know it was going to be the last night. I just knew that we were laughing. I'm sorry. And now I hold that night like this small glowing thing that I got one more evening of ease and one more round of laughter and one more chance to be witnessed in any amount of humiliation by somebody that loved me anyway. So this story, as embarrassing as it is for her. Because we both understood that joy and grief can sit at the same table, that laughter is not disrespectful to grief. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is tell the dumb, human, ridiculous truth and laugh together while you still can. So here's the embarrassing part. Also, cheers to Jay. So it was 2007, in important context. This was a deeply lawless time in my life. I was recently single, and I was trying to discover who I was again. It was a vulnerable time where I was grasping for self-confidence. I was renting this weird, funky, but very cute little duplex in Midtown. And I just moved back to Tucson from spending a whole decade in Portland, Oregon, where everyone composted and wore scarves indoors year-round while earning a master's degree in charcuterie boards. Any other Portlanders in here? As you know. And my neighbors were nice enough, but my neighborhood itself could be best described as legally concerning. I would sometimes pull into my driveway and there'd be a car parked full of people casually smoking crack like a book club. There was often police tape across the street, not for a marathon or a parade, just in regular crime. But my place felt pretty safe. It was kind of tucked back off the road, and I had a long driveway and a big gate that I could lock myself and my car and my dog into. And when I say dog, I mean a German shepherd who believed deep in her soul that her full-time job was protecting me by murder, if necessary. And one night, in the middle of the night, there's a pounding on my front door. Not a knocking, a pounding. My dog loses her mind, and I stumble out of bed. My heart is racing, and I go to the door, and I peek through the peephole, and there's police, 2 of them. And my dog is doing that low growl that says, I will end lives. So I went and grabbed her collar and I put it on her, and I'm holding her because I'm a responsible adult and I've made some choices, but not those choices. And so I'm holding her and I open the door, and immediately one of the cops turns fully around, like he is aggressively interested in my potted plant on my stoop. And the other cop, poor man, locks eyes with me. Cannot look away, just dead, serious eye contact. And he starts explaining that there's been a robbery, and at this point I'm noticing a couple of other cops with flashlights in my yard behind him. And somebody saw him jump my fence. Who else lives here? Is there anyone else inside? Have you seen anything? Have you heard anything? And I tell him, no, it's just me and my dog. And I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. And my dog starts to growl a little bit louder. And so I reach down to, reassure her. And that's when I see it. Friends, I am wearing the softest chocolate nightgown, luxurious, delicious, designed for sleep and romance and two breasts. But this nightgown has failed me because when I look down, I realize my entire right breast had been out this whole time. Not slipping, not teasing, not artistic, just out. The nipple, alert, confident, making eye contact. Not Lefty, she stayed home, but Righty was like, oh, hey, officers. Did I feel a breeze? No. Did I question the other cop immediately turning away? Nope. Did my body offer me a single warning sign? Absolutely not. So there I am at 2 a.m. with like Nick Nolte mugshot bedhead and a naked breast fully deployed. Oh my God. It was not cute. It was not sexy or erotic. This was a crime scene. And I scoot my boob back into place like I'm chasing a runaway baby bird. And I do something a little unhinged. I grab both of my breasts while returning this very intentional eye contact. And I said, "You're welcome for the show." And I slam the door. And I stomp back to bed, just pissed and humiliated. But the wild part is, after that night, I desperately wanted a second chance. I daydreamed about running into that cop at a coffee shop, at the grocery store, somewhere normal and fluorescent. In every fantasy, I look amazing. Hair done, makeup on, wearing a bra, possibly two. And I imagine him recognizing me and thinking, oh, thank God, she's not just a feral woman with a loose titty. For so long, I yearned for a second time around, a do-over, a rewrite. And I don't know why I cared so much about what some random cop thought of me at 2 a.m. Like, why did I care so much? I had this weird shame about it. And I know now, during that time, I was right in the middle of, redefining the direction of my life. I wasn't embarrassed about my body. I was embarrassed about being seen unfinished, unprepared, how I wanted to be seen, or in the perspective of my right breast, not seen at all. And the thing about the second time around is that you don't get to redo the moment, but you do get to redo how you carry it. And now, so many years later, I'm glad that second meeting never happened. I don't need to be cute or contained or properly strapped in. And I kind of love imagining that guy's version of the story. Like, he got to finish his shift and tell somebody about one of my boobs. So the second time around isn't about erasing the moment. It's about standing fully in who we are now. Boobs in or out, hair a mess, mistakes made, the wrong thing said are all just part of being human. And we get to constantly evolve and change in whoever we want to be. And I find that to be such a beautiful gift that life offers. And honestly, I hope my right boob haunts that cop forever. Thank you.